Japan's second-largest metropolis, Osaka, is an exciting cultural hub. Not only did this vibrant city give birth to kabuki, bunraku puppetry, and other traditional arts, it is also famous as the birthplace of jazz in Japan. Ever since its introduction almost 100 years ago, jazz has continued to thrive and grow in Osaka. Today, jazz is an intricate part of Osaka's culture. People of all ages, both amateur and professional, play and listen to jazz of all styles, from the traditional forms that first appeared in New Orleans to contemporary sounds being formulated now in New York and other global jazz hubs. Promoting the birthplace of jazz in Japan, this is JazzOSAKA. Since it continues to play a large role in the ongoing history of jazz, UNESCO chose Osaka as the global host city for its third annual International Jazz Day. Held every year on April 30th in partnership with the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz to recognize jazz music as a universal language of freedom, International Jazz Day 2014 culminated with an all-star global concert held in Osaka Castle Park, in front of an audience of 7,000 jazz enthusiasts and millions more worldwide who watched it streamed live on the net.
Swing it up, ba 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 blackbird, where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet and so is he. Ba 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 blackbird.
More than 30 musicians from around the world performed in 15 different groups, both large and small. Many collaborated with their fellow musicians for the first time, emphasizing the power that jazz has to encourage understanding and dialogue between people of different ethnicities, religious beliefs, and cultural backgrounds. A day-long series of events kicked off with a press conference attended by many of the world-renowned musicians and event officials. While announcing that International Jazz Day 2014 was taking place in 196 member nations worldwide, they hailed Osaka for its prominent position as the birthplace of jazz in Japan and the importance of jazz for positive social change.
Today, jazz is being celebrated in every nation in the world and on all 7 continents. And we have here with us today, we have artists from around the world, many of them have traveled from great distances to be here in Osaka, our host city.
That today the UN in New York is issuing a special commemorative stamp and a card on the occasion of International Jazz Day. So that means jazz has arrived in the home of the UN system, of the UN and UNESCO.
大阪は古くから日本の文化の中心として栄え
また日本のジャズ文化の発祥の地とも言われております。こうしてここ大阪に世界的なジャズのスーパースターの皆さんにお迎えいただきましたこと、大変嬉しいと思うとともに、また誇らしく感じております。私ども大阪は昨年のこのインターナショナルジャズデーのホストシティに立候補し、誘致活動に力を入れてまいりました。
And today, in your majestic city of Osaka, there will be educational programs, a variety of cultural performances, and to close out the day, we've assembled an all-star global evening concert to honor jazz and recognize its power to break down barriers in the creation of peace, unity, and harmony among people.
It's instrumental for the world to know about Osaka and the history not only of this great city and obviously the castle and all the other aspects, but it's about the history with jazz. And jazz was here in the 1920s, almost 100 years ago, and this city and this country has been one of the most supportive areas of the entire world for jazz.
Jazz equals Osaka というイメージで。
本当にそのイメージ強いですよね。昔からもう西山さんから宮本直さんからね、もうみんな大スターが東京出てきてね、俺たちを怖がらせてねしっかりやんなきゃとか思ったのを思い出しますもんね。もう本当大阪ジャズの街ですね。
Jazz can be a reflection of humanity and humanity in every level, corporate world, the doctors, lawyers, everything.
Suppress jazz because there's just something about hearing a music where everyone gets to express themselves, where everyone gets to do their own thing, but somehow makes it work within the situation of a group. That is just really powerful and gives people some really cool ideas about their own life.
Musicians then participated in various educational programs. They discussed the history and development of jazz in Osaka and other socially pertinent topics. Some gave workshops and hosted jam sessions that gave local musicians a chance to learn from these masters.
Just really enjoy the fact that there's so many people who are interested in music, you know, and so I'm very excited about that and very touched about that because you don't see this all the time.
The general public and students got a chance to hear current musicians talk about their philosophies and their own challenges for achieving mainstream success and personally reflect on the contributions of their legendary predecessors who fought to overcome racism and other issues. The program included screenings of jazz-related films.
And also a singer who had a lot of vocal range.
Young history of International Jazz Day. This is our third, and we're in Japan. And I think that's very important because, as I was saying earlier, France and Japan are the two biggest markets for jazz outside of the United States of America. So we started with UNESCO in Paris, and now here we are in Japan, and Osaka in particular, because Osaka is clearly a cultural hub for all of Japan, but beyond that, Osaka fell in love with jazz first.
Osaka hosts a variety of jazz festivals and major events throughout the year, especially during the same week as International Jazz Day, when there are a string of national holidays and many Japanese take vacations. In addition to Takatsuki Jazz Street, an admission-free festival that every year attracts more than 120,000 jazz fans over 2 days, Osaka Amenity Park hosted the Osaka Big River Jazz Festival 2014. held along the Okawa River, which gracefully flows through Osaka City and resembles the mighty Mississippi River in New Orleans, the birthplace of jazz. This year's festival featured performances by 10 bands of all ages, specializing in the traditional jazz that was played almost 100 years ago. Another major event in the days following International Jazz Day Osaka 2014 was a special performance by a locally raised musician. Takuya Kuroda, who was also one of the Japanese musicians chosen to play at the International Jazz Day All-Star Global Concert, celebrated the release of his first major album. The first Japanese artist to be signed by Blue Note Records in the United States, Kuroda gave a stellar performance of his unique style of contemporary jazz at Osaka's premier jazz club, Billboard Live Osaka, in front of a packed house of hometown fans. Here at Billboard tonight, it must be great to perform near home, huh? Here in Osaka.
It was totally different vibe from Tokyo. Tokyo was great too, but Osaka always has this kind of it's a soulful crowd.
Yeah.
You know, give people a lot of power to a stage. So I always want to give something back to it.
Right,
it's great. Osaka is the.
And then recently also you performed at the International Jazz Day here in Osaka, right?
Yeah, I'm so honored to be part of it. And then, I don't know, Osaka is happening now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
JazzOSAKA.
JazzOSAKA, #1.
All right. Excellent. Osaka, a city known for its commitment to jazz, not only to preserving its traditions, but also to fostering young musicians to carry its musical values and uniting powers into the future. Chosen by UNESCO as the third host city for International Jazz Day, Osaka offers all sorts of opportunities to hear live jazz. In addition to annual festivals and large-scale events, there are more than 15 clubs in downtown Osaka alone that offer live jazz on a nightly basis. Access the JazzOSAKA website for links to each jazz club, constant updates on suggested happenings, and topics of interest from Osaka, Japan's birthplace of jazz.